Hey guys, welcome back from vacation. So we are all ready to resume our reading of Hate That Cat by Sharon Creech. I don't know about you guys, but I've been kind of missing Jack and Stretchberry, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So you might remember last time we finished with the poem called The Kitten by Valerie Worth. And so I'm going to reread that and reread Jack's entry about that before we go on. Kitten by Valerie Worth. And just like when we read the poem about dog, there's no capital letter on that title. So again, this might be, what's happening here? It's frozen. Okay, I don't know what happened there. It was frozen, so I'm just going to continue. So there's no capital letter here on the title. So just like with another poem that we had read called Dog, it could have just been any dog. This could maybe just be any kitten that acts like this. So, Kitten by Valerie Worth. The black kitten, arched, stiff, dances sideways from behind the chair, leaps, tears away with ears back, spins, lands crouched flat on the floor, sighting something at nose level, her eyes round as oranges, her hind legs marking time. Then she pounces, cactus clawed, upon a strayed strand of fluff. Can anyone believe that she doesn't ask us to laugh? I really do love the picture that paints in my head. It makes me want to laugh every time when I think about a little kitten acting like that. November 13th. When you read that kitten poem by Miss Valerie Worth, is she alive? I could see that black kitten dancing sideways and leaping and crouching with her eyes round as oranges. And I could see that black kitten pouncing with her cactus claws on a piece of fluff. It made me laugh, that black kitten. It reminded me of my dog Sky, how he would dance around a skittering leaf as if it were alive. And he would cock his head and wag his tail and scoot backwards and then yip and pounce on the fluttery leaf. He made me laugh, that Sky. And I hate to admit it, but the kittens you brought to class were not creepy. I'm not saying I like cats. Dogs are much better. Oh, dogs are much, much better. But those kittens were fantastically funny. The way they were skittering around and purring. I guess I never saw a kitten up close before. Only big, creepy cats that look like they would love to scratch you. Doesn't seem like Jack likes cats very much again, does it? November 20th. I told my dad about those furry kittens you brought into school, and he asked me if I would like one, and I said no, 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 no. He's coming to parent conferences tonight, and I just wanted you to know that I said no, 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 no. I guess he really does not want one of those kittens. November 21st. Why? Because kittens grow up to be cats. And what do cats do? Do they play ball with you? Or jump up on you and lick your face all slobbery kissy to show you that they love, love, love you? I know one fat black cat. I hate that cat. Who is meaner than mean. I hate that cat. And besides, even if you had a nice cat that you loved, it might run outside and into the street and get squished by a car going fast with many, many miles to go before it sleeps. Or it could get sick, really, really sick, and never get better. Or it could run away or get lost and end up somewhere else. I hope I did not hurt your feelings, but cats are cats and dogs are dogs. P.S. Thank you for saying nice things about me to my dad last night. He liked my Yip poem up on the wall, and he likes you too. For true. I'm not just saying that to make you feel good. P.S.S. No, I cannot write about my mother. That would be impossible. So going back, here's what Jack's poem looked like there. So I like how he's starting to use parentheses. So that's when you kind of have what you're saying, but then you kind of say a little something like on the side. Like, I know one fat black cat. I hate that cat. Who is meaner than mean. I hate that cat. So those parentheses can be used to kind of add a little something that doesn't quite fit in that sentence, but has an important meaning there too. So Jack really felt like he needed to include that twice there. I hate that cat, because clearly, as we know, he hates that cat. But maybe you have some questions about that cat now, right? Why do you think Jack hates that cat? And why do you think Jack says it's impossible for him to write about his mother? Good questions. By the way, you know when you're writing, PS means postscript. Script is like writing that you do. Post is after. Okay, so postscript. And then here, because Jack's a kid, he made a little mistake. I don't think you would ever have a postscript script. I think it would actually be a postscript. So I think you could maybe have a PPS if you had to write two things after the close of your letter, like Jack did. November 27th. Yes, I know that all those bad things could happen to a dog too, which is why I don't want a dog either. It's getting a little sassy again. I already had a dog, my dog Sky, my funny, furry, smiling dog Sky. November 30th. It's strange that now when you read a poem to the class, I hear alliteration popping out everywhere. I never heard it before, or maybe I heard the sounds, but I didn't know why they were sticking in my head. Yesterday, after you read the Eagle poem by Mr. Tennyson, is he alive? Those first two lines stuck in my head. He clasps the crag with crooked hands, close to the sun in lonely lands. And I could see that eagle all day long, clasping the crag with his crooked hands in those lonely lands, just sitting up there watching before he falls, boom, like a thunderbolt. Did he swoop into the sea and catch a fish? Or a little mousie on the hillside? Or a creepy cat? Sorry, just kidding. All right, let's read The Eagle by Alfred Lord Tennyson. 2 stanzas, 6 lines total. He clasps the crag with crooked hands, close to the sun in lonely lands. Ringed with the azure world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. He watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt he falls. I like how Jack added the falls, boom, like a thunderbolt. If you've ever seen an eagle doing that before, it's a really perfect description of what it looks like. Now, in this poem, it's really interesting because we have the hands, lands, stands, crawls, walls, falls. So we really have an AAA, BBB rhyme scheme here. Really, again, this second one shows you how crawls, walls, falls, they're not spelled the same, but it's the sound you're looking for in rhyme. So it's okay if they don't have the same spelling as long as you're hearing the same sound there. So the crawls, walls, falls still rhymes. Now, along with the alliteration that you can hear in this poem, clasps, crag, crooked, close, there's another technique that he's using in here. So there's some other techniques called assonance and consonance. So assonance is when you can hear a vowel sound that's being repeated throughout some words, often within a line or within several lines in a poem. So here, when we hear he clasps the crag, that ah vowel sound that we can hear there in those words is purposeful. And so that's that assonance technique that he's using, where he's repeating that vowel sound that we're hearing. Consonance is where you can hear a consonant sound being repeated, not at the beginning of the words like with the alliteration, clasps, crag, crooked, close, but when you can hear consonant sound being repeated throughout the middle of words or the end of words. So I'm looking to see if I see one here. Maybe like here, sun, lonely lands, how you can hear the N sound repeated there. That might classify there as maybe consonants, where you're hearing a repeated consonant sound. So we'll kind of just be on the lookout for those techniques too, okay? December 4th, The Dog, inspired by Mr. Tennyson, by Jack. He pats the kitten with puffy paws near the window draped with gauze, and yawns and opens up his jaws. The wrinkled rug beneath him lies. He watches with his big black eyes, and like a lazy boy he sighs. Well, at least the dog did not eat the kitten. Huh. So, for someone who doesn't like kittens, he's suddenly writing about them, isn't he? And using assonance, and he's using alliteration. And so I like what he did there. I also like how in here with the alliteration for wrinkled rug, again, wrinkled has that silent W at the beginning, but it still just makes that R sound. So I like how he's using alliteration that has different spelling too. December 6th. Those kittens of yours surprised me. They got so big, and they are so funny, especially for cats. And that black one with the white spot on her forehead, she fell asleep right in my lap, even though I didn't pet her. Well, only a tiny bit. And she was purring while she slept, so I think she was happy. But don't get me wrong, a dog is still much better than a cat. Right, Griffey? Yes, thank you. All right. So maybe we'll end. Well, let's see. I might have time for one more. I got time for one more poem and then we'll end. But maybe I think you need to make a prediction about Jack and these kittens that she has. Do you think he might be interested? Yes, no, why or why not? December 11th, The Red-Headed Mailman, inspired by Mr. William Carlos Williams, by Jack. So much depends upon a red-headed mailman walking up the drive holding a blue postcard. Did you believe the postcard I brought in? Did you believe that Mr. Walter Dean Myers, my all-time favorite poet, who visited our class last year, that Mr. Walter Dean Myers himself sent me a postcard? I didn't believe it when I saw it. I sat right down on the steps and read it about 50 times. And did you believe that he mentioned his cat? His cat! I love that postcard. Love, love, love it. But I'm still a little surprised that Mr. Walter Dean Myers has a cat. I thought he would have a dashing dog or maybe a hardy horse. It is hard to picture Mr. Walter Dean Myers with a cat. Now, one thing I want you to do before you go to do the quiz is I want you to go to Epic and see if you can find any poems there that you can read. And I want you to see if you can write down a couple of lines where you think you've spotted some alliteration or some assonance or some consonants so that you can write that into one of the questions. You're going to want to do it before you start your questions, okay? All right, bye. See you next time.